G'day everyone, welcome to Get This Rugby podcast with Chew and Greg. Episode, we're up to episode 4.
Episode 5. 4.
4 or 5, I can't remember.
5, I think.
I think
Four.
it's 4.
Yeah, don't matter.
Just a reminder guys, please like and subscribe our page so we can grow it and get more content.
Tell everyone about it.
And how are you Chew this week?
I'm good. I'm getting around pretty good. And a couple of weeks I'll be dangerous. So look out.
Running.
Yeah, I won't be running.
So we had a big week again.
Round 4.
So we had a bit of
Chill.
did it rain again? No,
Yeah, a little bit, but yeah.
Wasn't too bad last Saturday. Another good round of footy. So we're 4 rounds in. So let's start going through the games from last week.
Well, the Anzac Day game was Manly and Warringah at Manly.
Yeah, so it ended up 30-19 to Warringah, which I was surprised that Manly led at half time. Well, that was only 12-10, but it was a poor second half by Manly. We can't hide from that. The Rats running game just hurt them, eh?
Yeah, I thought Warringah moved the ball really well, and I like them, the way they're using the blind side, and their breakdown's been really good in just about every game. Like, I like seeing wingers and fullbacks getting their heads dirty and like getting stuck in, and it does, it's a good sign for them, and they showed a lot of pace on the weekend, and I thought they played pretty well, and Manly though, I tipped Manly to win primarily because it was at Manly, but gee, they seem to do it in every game. Just have a lot of mistakes or a lot of bad penalties, or just miss a line out or something out of the blue. Like, they can't seem to put a whole game together.
Yeah.
Although I think they play well most of the time.
Yeah. Inconsistent. I thought the first half was really good. The second half lacked a bit of like the old derby intensity, I thought. And Warringah,
Yeah, it did a bit.
Warringah's got I don't know. So they're 3 from 4. People are going to start waking up to them, right?
Yeah.
You look at Ben Maher at fullback, great player.
Mate, they're I'd rather be 3 from 4 than they're going all right. So
yeah, so
it's
man,
good, you win early, it always helps. And one thing about the game was, the ref did get quite involved in the game. I've got to tell you.
Oh, Matty,
the first half, I fair dinkum didn't know what to do with myself. It was like every single thing. But anyway, another thing too, I noticed it in a couple of other games that Manly have played. From time to time, the defence just goes missing. It was really bad at once. Like, they let a lot of sort of, I don't know if it's soft tries, but get a lot of breaks made against them, and that if they're fair dinkum, they're going to have to improve there.
Yeah.
And
well, I suppose to be fair, that was their first loss, so they are 3 and 4. But I think they've got.
Oh, for sure, they're going all right.
But I mean, it's a week by week thing. You got to say, Josh Ames has got Warringah buzzing. If you think about, they've had one bad game, but that was in pretty wet weather. So
yeah, they go well.
Like 4 rounds, mate. Josh Ames is favourite for Coach of the Year. We'll say right now.
Yeah, right.
We'll
After
call
4
it
rounds.
After 4 rounds, we'll call it. So yeah,
I'll start calling it 14 rounds, I reckon. Anyway.
He'll like me saying that anyway.
Yeah. It's drinking.
And we did tip against you last week, Josh. So we're sorry about that.
It was a bit of a coin toss. I was primarily I went for Manly basically because they were playing at home, and I probably would have gone for Warringah if they'd been at Warringah, but
yeah,
as often happens in those games, it spins around the other way. But,
yeah.
Anyway, that's that.
So what was the next one? Was
Uni was at Gordon, Chatswood again.
It ended up 31-27. It was pretty close all day, but I don't know. I just felt like Gordon were a little bit better on the day.
Yeah, they were.
I know Uni led late in the game, 27-24, Gordon score. But I always felt watching it that Gordon were a little bit better.
They showed a lot of ticker in that game, Gordon. I think since that first game against Para when they had a shocker, I think they've improved every week, which is a good sign for them. And like I say, I thought they showed a lot of ticker to stay in it and and stay with them, and then go ahead and win the game. You know.
Yeah.
I just thought Uni were a bit. I've not said it most weeks. They look a bit slow and predictable in attack to me, and you know they're good in a lot of areas, and then they just seem like they. I don't know.
Switch off, don't they?
Yeah,
They've done that in every game this year. They just switch off for periods.
But
and their set piece is a bit hit and miss.
It is. It's got better, but I think you know they're only 1 from 4 now, so you know
they're under pressure.
We'll talk about that later on in the thing about this week. But
yeah, I thought
you know,
Gordon for me, like every week they've got better.
Sure.
What they are starting to demonstrate, because their coach is Harry Fairhilly is from the UK.
Yep.
I think they're starting to demonstrate a bit of UK type coaching, where they're very physical and up front. I reckon that's his marker getting on the team.
Yeah, well,
which is good to see, like because that's going to take you a long way.
Yeah, well, and I thought, you know, since that first round, their defence has been a lot better too.
Oh yeah, 100%, yeah.
And,
they've improved every week, and that's what you want, right?
Yeah,
if you're coaching, you want to see improvement, and like their captain, Milan Basson, he's a really good player.
Well, like I always say, I said it earlier on, the first 4 games to me are almost like trials.
Yeah.
And I think it only starts sorting itself out about now. Like we're getting to the meat of the comp now. You can't write too much into the first 4 rounds, but if you haven't won many, you're in a bit of trouble.
Uni 1 and 4, Gordon are now 2 and 2. And got some bonus points in the first 2 games, lost, so that.
Yeah, so where's that sit them now? They'd be in
they're like 6th or 7th.
Something like that, yeah, right. Okay.
So what was the next one?
Next game was South and Para at Foreshore.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought South started really well. And at half time I thought, you know, they might be a chance of winning, but it seemed to be the same old story, running out of gas and not bringing anyone on. And I believe they got a lot of injuries in second grade and a few blokes out in first grade. I think I was talking to one of the club officials, and he said that there was something like 8 blokes missing, and they just didn't have anyone to bring on. And I suppose that's a problem when you haven't got a lot to start with.
Yeah, that's right. It's interesting you say. Not wanting to contradict you, but interesting to say they started well. Para actually led, or Two Blues led 14-0, but then South ended up leading at half time, didn't they?
Yeah, I just thought the way South started the game, they looked better than they'd looked in every other game.
Yeah.
And they just, I thought, oh yeah, they're looking all right today. And then I'll tell you what though, it wasn't the best game of football I've ever seen. And but South's in a lot of strife now. They're well, we'll talk about that later too, about this coming week's game. But
concern for them.
Para got away there, so
what's that?
That's Para didn't really do anything different to what they usually do. I didn't think. And
that's 3 wins for them. So
yeah, but they haven't really played much, and that's that's the.
And that was evidence against East when they lost.
They lost to East, yeah.
Easily,
Yeah. Next game, what do we got?
Newcastle Eastwood?
Yeah.
Or Hunter
Eastwood at Hunter, yeah.
So that was, they ended up 38-19 to Hunter. That was really pleased to see that hit back. After
they needed to after their Gordon game, didn't they?
Yeah, Gordon game was
19
horrendous.
Yeah.
They were pretty much in control of that game. Although it was up and back and forward.
Yeah.
They kicked away late. Eastwood were, not great, to be honest.
Yeah, I think they're still trying to find their way a little bit, the Woodies. They're, I still think they're losing up front at the moment.
Yeah.
And they just seem to be getting a bit manhandled to me whenever teams really want to put it to them. And I think they're going to have to improve up front to get anything going. But I know they're sort of rebuilding, a new coach and the whole thing. And I was hoping, like, I I thought there might have been some signs there that they were getting better. Like I thought they went a little bit backwards against Newcastle, but
Yeah,
I just think Newcastle sort of playing up there. They just took control, I thought, and Newcastle improved in just about every area from the Gordon game. In particular, their line out was better.
and their
Intensity was up too. You know, they looked a bit flat against Gordon the week before, I thought.
the score was close. Most of David Hunter kicked away late and dominated the last 20. And let's not sugarcoat it too. Like the Woods are 1 and 3, and you could make an argument they were lucky to win against Warringah, so they could easily be 0-4.
Yeah, and it's,
So they're going to have to pick it up from there.
yeah, it's going to be, they're going to have a long season. I don't know if they've got any guys out hurt, or if they've got any guys coming back, or guys that are overseas at the moment, or stuff like that. But there's a few guys I thought that would be in that team this year I haven't seen, and I'm not sure where they are.
A couple of Waratahs blokes I'll get back, but
a couple of guys that were playing there last year just aren't there, and I don't know whether they're out hurt or they're not playing.
a lot did leave. So
yeah, right.
yeah, like went with Ben to East.
Oh yeah, but there's a few other guys there. I'll have to find out. We have to do a bit of research on who's Eastwood's got. I haven't seen the list for their second grade team and stuff. But
I'll go and watch the whole game there. But the bits that I did watch, Donnie Freeman was on fire. Easy to play. Easily the best player in the field. There's something like 4 turnovers in that game.
yeah, I thought he was their best player against Gordon too.
Yeah, how he's not playing for the Force is beyond me.
Yeah.
How they're leaving him in Newcastle, but anyway.
Oh well, there you
What do
go.
we have next? We have the Battle of the East.
Yeah, Ramick and East at Coogee, which ended up, what was the score?
29-28. A bit of a crazy game, wouldn't you reckon? Like,
Yeah,
East broke away to lead 21-3, and then Randwick scored 4 tries, and then East scored a late try, and Randwick basically had to hang on at the end to win the game. It was end up a
well,
good game.
Yeah, it was. I think it's probably be one of the best games this year. I think.
Yeah.
They both got into it. It was a good crowd down there at Coogee, and I enjoyed the game actually. And Randwick showed some really good signs, and they did some good things. But I hadn't. That was a big test for East because they hadn't really played much, and against like strong teams, I didn't think, and. I thought they showed that they might be the real deal. Like they were right in that, and they were playing the premiers, and if they keep that up, I think they'll be there in the final 6 for sure.
Yeah, we both sort of like held our fire on East, didn't we, last week? And
Yeah,
I think they proved it. I don't think they proved last week. I know it's round 4, but I think they proved last week they can mix it with the best sides.
yeah.
Based on that game, and like you said to me on the phone, Jack Bowen didn't have his best game of the season.
No, he didn't.
He's quite poor, and they still nearly won the game. So
Yeah.
I think there's some real. I think Benny Batcher looks like he's doing a good job there.
I think that probably the thing that probably hurt East the most in the game was their defence. They missed a lot of tackles, and I think had their defence been up to it, geez, it couldn't get much closer. But they were right in it, and it was a good sign for them to go to Coogee and get so close. And but once again, Randwick to me, I thought they played well the week before. They're looking all right. So
Yeah, well, they got
all the normal people in their team played well, and
yeah,
right. What's his name? The number 8.
Benny Houston.
Yeah. I thought he played very well, and
Yeah, good player.
and
And Andrew Deegan back at 10. That's a big thing for them.
he steered them around, and that was a good game, and I think
I don't think he doesn't
Good
get
on
his
him.
jersey very dirty, but he steers the team. Doesn't
well,
like passing the kickers.
hasn't been a Randwick 5'8" who ever got dirty, has he? Yeah, dig.
Not since your mate Noxie, right?
Yeah, Noxie used to make a lot of tackles. Yeah. He didn't like getting tackled, I know that.
So the last game we had over at Concord, Western North.
Concord, Western North,
It's 34-22, I think.
34-22.
To North, yeah.
Look, Norths were just too good for me, but I thought that would happen.
North look a bit like, to me, like they did when they played South. They looked in their second gear all day, but just did what they had to. Can't fault West's effort. I suppose they had a crack, as they do every week. But I just, you know, I don't know, maybe we'll talk about this later, but I feel for West, because what must it feel like to play your guts out every week and not getting a result? I don't know.
Yeah, they look. I think they were going to improve this year from last year, but they just look like just really simple things they fall down in, and bad defence around a ruck. Just simple things, and then mistakes when they're attacking, and you know they're really struggling to score points. And I wasn't sure. Look how they go. Oh, look, they're playing. I thought North had beat them, but I thought they might have gone a little bit better this week, West, or last week. But I think they're, you know, they're going to have to lift it now, because it's going to be a long year if they don't improve in a lot of areas. And I don't know if they've got any other players coming in.
Well, I just thought there was some strange things. Like we saw Dion Spice run around in second grade.
He did play second grade, did he?
Yeah.
I saw him came on in first grade later.
He was definitely started second grade, and I just thought, I don't understand that, unless you're making a statement as a coach. I'm not sure about that. Don't know. I don't think. Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about that more. Let's go on to this week's games.
All right.
So we'll go from the top. What have we
Start
got?
at the top. East playing Eastwood at Willara.
Right, so they've got 4 out of 5 games at Willara.
Yeah. So they're going to have a few away
They've had
games.
trouble, yeah, don't they? They went to Coogee last week.
Yeah,
They didn't have
it
pretty
hasn't
good,
been
mate.
far, eh?
They didn't have to go far. But, geez, tough road trip for Eastwood, given the current form.
Yeah. The hardest thing's finding a car park around that joint.
Yeah, it's terrible. Mate, I can't make a case for anything but East win there, and probably a handsome one.
How's Eastwood been going in seconds? Do you know?
Yeah, pretty solid.
Are they?
Couple of
I haven't
wins.
seen the results for second grade, but I should have a look. But I'd say East, you know, the way they're playing, and you know, I'd expect them to go on and like really this week. This is the sort of game they got to win to if they're fair income. And
What's the bonus
you can't
point?
come off a game like last week and then go and play poorly this week. They should be trying to build on that, and particularly in a few areas. But I can't see us losing that one. And you know, I'm wondering, you know, is Eastwood going to turn up this time? I hope they do. But
Interesting game though. Over the years, they've had good battles against each other, but I think Eastwood had 10 blokes on debut in round 1.
yeah, true.
So we can't really, you know, they're rebuilding. We can't say anything. There's nothing else to say.
Yeah, but you know they got to. It just seems in a lot of areas, a lot of fundamentals Eastwood have fallen down in, I think, and that's hurting them. Like their scrum hasn't been good, their line out hasn't been good, their breakdown hasn't been good. Just they're making it hard for themselves. If they get all their fundamentals right, I think they'll go a lot better. But I suppose they're a work in progress. But I think East will win that one.
Yeah, I think can't see anything else. I think probably with a bonus point.
Well, they should if they're fair income like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Eastwood will probably hang in there for a while, but they should win. So where are we
It's supposed to be wet in the weekend too. I believe.
raining Saturday, so that might. Well, I don't think
Supposed to be raining tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday.
that won't worry East on the
carpet.
carpet.
Anyway,
So what is
Manly at home to Gordon.
Manly and Gordon? What a game! man.
Yeah.
That's actually a big game, isn't it? Like you think about it, like if Manly lose, they drop to 3-2, and Gordon will go to 3-2.
Yeah.
So it's and Gordon, you know, you've got to say they're back in form. So
Yeah.
interesting game too, because the Gordon coach Harry, who he used to coach at Manly when he first came out
right.
to Australia, so
Yeah.
he'll be motivated for that one.
I think Manly would be very disappointed in the way they played last week, and I'll be surprised if the coach isn't right up on this week, because they certainly didn't show their best last week, and defensively in particular, and some really silly penalties, and their set piece wasn't as good as usual. I don't know. I'd say I'd probably pick Manly at home because I think they're going to kick back from last week. But Gordon are on the rise, and I think it'll be a close game. And if it's wet, it might just come down to goal kicking or something. And the Manly kick is pretty handy. But
Yeah.
I
I'm not sure.
don't know. It might be a draw.
Yeah,
All right.
I think I'll go with Gordon in this
You
game.
go Gordon, all right. I'll
I
go
just think
Manly in this one.
You know what I'm tipping also in this game?
A blue.
It'll be a niggle fest, mate. It'll be handbags at 10 paces this game. Because they both pretty sure they don't like each other. There's been a few players go from each club.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm sure Aaron Blacklock will be right in the middle of that if there's any niggle.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Aaron will be throwing too many.
He won't be throwing, but he'll be
He'll be inciting
he'll be
people to
talking.
fight and hiding behind someone else, knowing Aaron.
He'll be talking about it, though.
yeah.
It's the
From a
thing of-
distance.
Thing about it too, it's going to be a forward battle. They both got pretty big forwards. They're both pretty good over the ball. Well, mate, I reckon it could be. Well, I think it'll be the second best game of the round. Let me throw that out.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good game.
We'll
And
talk about who's going to be the best one at the end.
you're right, we will.
So we'll jump over to Uni and Warringah.
Uni and Warringah. Okay.
Well,
At Uni, right?
yes. So let's lay it out on the table sheet.
Well, okay. I think this is a really big game for Uni because if they lose this one, they're 1 from 5.
Yep.
And that means you can only afford to lose another 3 or 4 games. And I think if they lose this week, they're in a bit of strife. And I don't think it's going to go down real well at Uni either.
No.
I think they're expected to be better than what they are at the moment. And, I don't think they've really showed that much. And they got away with Norse in the first round, and I wasn't convinced by that. But here we go. You're playing Warringah, who are coming first or second, aren't they? Something like that. And,
Top 4. Yep. They're on fire. Let's be honest.
they're going all right, and I don't think it's going to bother Warringah too much playing at Uni.
No.
And I think it's a big day for Uni, and it's probably, I don't like saying it's a must-win in round 5, but I think it's pretty close to it.
Well, let's lay it out on the table, right? Last year, the team who finished 6th lost 8 games. So if they go 1 and 5, that's already 4 losses.
It makes it hard.
That means they can only lose 4 games in the last 13 rounds.
Yeah. So
That's a tough ask.
you've got to, you're fighting uphill the whole way. So
Finals become a distant memory,
and I think Warringah would be looking at this game as a game they should win.
and they're motivated to win.
Yeah, well, they should be. And once again, a bit like East, if they're fair income, this is the sort of game they probably should win.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at Warringah; they got a good scrum. Their line out's good. They got 2 really good.
I think
number
their
sevens.
pace out wide might really disturb Uni because I don't
Yeah, it
think
will.
Uni are that quick out wide, or they don't seem to be in the midfield anyway.
Great to see a bloke that I know well, Tyson Davis, playing really well for Warringah. He's been around for a while. Good kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ben Maher at 15. Jeez,
He's been playing really well. Yeah.
he's got spiders on him. They can't touch him.
Yeah. And, I like the style of play Warringah's been going, and they've been using it blind and not just running up the gut, too wide, hitting it up the middle all the time, really easy to defend. They've been going back the other way, and I think that's a good thing. And the way Uni's been playing, I think it's been really easy for teams to defend because you can read it from a long time away.
I mean, why are you playing your club captain off the bench?
I'm not sure.
What's going on there?
I don't know.
Like he's the best 7 in the club and he's playing off the bench.
Yes.
And he's the captain.
It's interesting, isn't it?
I think, yeah.
Has that been every week or just the last
I think it's
couple of weeks?
pretty much every week.
Yeah.
And, I know we have not such a great history with Mr. Loudon, but I think he's under pressure if they lose this week.
He's a good coach, and he's obviously, will have good systems there. Uni always have, and they've got a lot of people involved in the process there, and their setup and everything's great. And they've always been good right through, And look, I just think this could be a hard week for them. I'm going to tip Warringah because I just think they're playing better.
Yeah, I'm tipping Warringah.
Yeah.
I can't see anything else. I mean, I think it could potentially be close.
Could be.
But
I think if if they
they'll
going to get their
definitely step it
season
up.
going, they probably have to win this week.
They'll
So
definitely step
I'm
it
sure
up.
who they're playing next week, but one more loss could get hard. So we're going Warringah.
Yeah, we'll both go Warringah there.
All right.
So
Now, holy dolly. Here we go.
we're not going to be popular with this one, are we?
Oh, mate.
West and South.
The two probably most troubled teams at the moment.
Well, let's make it clear. We both like both clubs.
Exactly.
You played for South.
I played for South. The young bloke played for West and South, and I like West a lot, and
I like the clubs, like the people,
and
but it's,
I'm really worried about South at the moment, in the position they're in, and I feel for Joe coaching there because it's probably the hardest gig in football, just because of the last 2 or 3 years there where you're coming last or second last in 3 grades and the Colts have gone bad. Thankfully this year the Colts are going well, and I know they're looking at them for next year, but I think they've had a hard time attracting anyone there because of the position they're in, and I really fear for them at the moment. And I hate saying that, but I really want them to go well. But geez, I think they're in a world of trouble at the moment, and I think West are probably in a little better position as far as the whole club goes at the moment. But geez, they're in a bit of strife too in first grade. That neither of them had a win, have they?
no, they're both 0-4, and really, let's say it, like the loser here is probably favourite to get the wooden spoon.
Probably, yeah, unless someone has a shocker late. And like I always say, it's usually things get hard in the end of June and July, and if they think they're having a hard time now, gee,
Wait till it's
in
cold.
June or July, things could be really horrible. And I don't think either club's got a stack of people coming in, apart from South with a lot of injuries. So I'm going to tip West at home in this one.
Yeah, I think I'll tip West, but I'm tempted to tip South for some reason, but I think I'll go West.
But West have really disappointed me this year. I really thought they would have kicked on a bit more from last year.
Well, I actually thought they were half a chance to make the finals this year after last year,
Yeah,
but it's just
I
I know it's early, but
if whoever loses this is gone, I think, and as far as semis go, and if whatever team, I don't think either team is going to make the semis, but if you've got aspirations of it, you've got to win this week. So
although we should qualify anything we're saying, your young bloke played for West and they lost the first 9 games and then won the next 9, right?
yeah, it's true.
So,
I still miss the semis.
still, yeah, only just, didn't they? So it can be done.
Yeah, it can be done, but geez, I think realistically, it's going to be hard from here. But and especially when there's a few, there's probably 4 or 5 teams that you can probably say are going to be there. So anyway, good luck to both of them. I wouldn't be surprised if it's kind of close.
You know what I'd like to see in that game? A high-scoring game. I'd like to see it about 40-35. Both teams just enjoy themselves, throw the ball around.
Yeah, the draw would be good. That'd be funny.
But I'd just like to see both teams. Look, that day I know West, the day they played Para was 52-36.
Yeah, it's disgraceful.
West threw the ball around. They looked like they were enjoying themselves.
They did.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's the key. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they were West and Para were enjoying themselves because no one was tackling.
No, I was back on that day.
It was like fair dinkum. It was 2-handed touch if I've ever saw it.
That's it.
Really.
So we're going up to Newcastle next.
Up to Newcastle. They're at the sports green this week.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice setup up there. We're going to have to get up there in the next
getting
few
up there.
weeks. Yeah.
We'll let you know when, Bubba, because he said he was going to look after it.
Yeah.
So they're playing 2 Blues in Newcastle. Now, 2 Blues haven't beaten Newcastle since they've been back in the Shoot Shield,
All right.
which I read today.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, I don't know, mate. What do you think?
Mate, Newcastle impressed me the way they came back last week, and look, they really needed to because the Gordon game and the couple of games before that, they didn't look like the team they were last year, and I think they've been mucking around with a few different players and stuff, and I think that was a good sign for them last week, and I think Newcastle are a better team than what they've showed this year, and I know they've got a lot of spirit, and they've got a lot of people. Like the time we went up there the other year, and a lot of people up there. It's a good setup. You should get a good crowd there. That's a 3 o'clock game, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
I believe.
And I don't know how good Parrot travel, and they might get lost, but
Long way, mate.
I hope they're all on a bus. But
Around with Newcastle.
yeah, I think Newcastle up there, they should improve from last week and go on with it. I'd say so. I'll go Newcastle.
Yeah, I'm a bit torn in this one, to be honest. Like I know if it's wet, I definitely reckon Newcastle are in a little bit of trouble based on that Gordon game.
That
think they
ground's
play
always
well
in
wet.
really good nick there.
Yeah, that's right. Parrot or Two Blues, they love to throw the ball around, short passes. Whether that is such a good game in the wet, that's the problem that I see. I think if let's be honest, if the Two Blues are serious and they want to make the finals, they have to win a game like this because the two teams are fairly even.
They're the sort of teams you have to beat to make the semis. You might be able to lose to the teams coming first, second, third, whatever, but teams around that are going to be that mid-table, they're the teams you've got to win, and the games you've got to win. And if you don't, they're the games you always look back on and think, geez, we might have made the semis if we'd beaten the teams around us. And so it's a big incentive for Para if they're fair dinkum. Yeah. And I think Newcastle really they've probably got to win after the start they've had, I think, and this is probably a game they think they should win. But I'd say Para's probably thinking the same thing. So I don't know. I'm going Newcastle in that one at home.
Yeah, I'll go Para by 1 point.
Right.
Or two Blues by 1 point. I'm sure I'll get that.
You're going Para. I'm going Newcastle. Right.
And our last game, I'll tell you what, it's the game of the year, mate. The grand
we going
final.
this one?
I think we probably will, but
Yeah. So
grand final rematch.
Big game, yeah.
We might even get to meet our mate Hoylesy, or we keep that quiet that we're friends.
Yeah. And
because he's from Randwick.
North's great club, a lot of good people there too, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone there. It's grand final rematch, eh? And
It's going to be okay.
that was a big, very close encounter in that grand final. Norths could have won that. What do you say? This one, Norths have got to stand up because I don't think they've been playing that well, even though they've been winning. And Randwick have sort of come good a bit, I think, and they're starting to play well again. So, what do you reckon?
Yeah, it's a tough one to call. I think it's going to be a great game. It's going to be similar to grand final, close and tight.
I'm presuming Randwick will have pretty much the same team they've had the last couple of weeks. Norths, I'm not sure about. Haven't seen a team list for that?
I haven't seen team list yet.
Because
But
I know they've had a few blokes in and out, haven't they?
Yeah,
and injuries and different stuff. And I'd like to know what the Norths lineup's going to be, and we don't know at this stage because the Sydney Rugby never put the teams out anymore.
no,
Till Thursday night or something.
Yeah, in about 2 hours' time.
Yeah.
But I think Norths are due back some players, from what I've been hearing.
Yeah. Well, they're going to need them against Randwick, I'm telling you.
I think the thing about it in this game too is that both teams defend really well.
Yeah.
Probably
Well, they were
sounds
the best two defensive teams last year.
Probably it sounds stupid when Randwick conceded 28 last week, but they are defensively, and like Norths probably the best defensive team.
I thought they were last year. Well, both of those teams. So,
I mean, how do we come up with a tip for this one?
well, I just like to know who are Norths playing. Who are they starting at hooker? Where's the guy Boyce?
Gary Board.
Boards. He's been kicking ass and he's played just about every position in the pack this year, except for prop, I think. So I'd like to know what position they're going to run him out at, and is who's what? Yeah, especially the makeup of their forward pack. It's
yeah, and I mean the thing about it
I'm
too.
interested to know who's in it.
The thing about it too, both teams have their second grades been going well in both clubs.
Yep.
So they've got depth. And I think that's why the coaches tend to play around a little bit with selections. But I don't know. I'd hate to tip against Randwick, but I can't bring myself to tip against North at North Sydney Oval.
I might be. It could be a draw this one.
I think it's going to be. I think it's dead set going to come down to a penalty goal or something.
Yeah, well, they both got good kickers.
Yeah, and we'll be torn, mate. Who we go? We go sit with the North blokes or the Randwick blokes? We don't. I guess we can't sit with the Randwick blokes because you won't be allowed to sit over with them.
Probably not. Depends who's here. No, I'll be right. You know what?
I don't know, mate.
I'm going to tip Norse at home just because I don't think they've played their best yet, and this might be the game where they get out and play their best. And once again, it's just going to depend on who they got on the park. If they got their close to their best team on the park, I think they'll be all right. But it's hard to tip against Randwick because they've been playing so well. So
How much?
Bugger it, I'm going for Norse.
How much do you reckon? Like they talk about this revenge. Well, it's not a revenge because you don't get the premiership cup back,
not really.
Shield back. How much does that play into a game like this, or do they just?
I think it's I think Norse are probably thinking that more than Randwick. You know, Norse would be thinking, geez, you know, we've got to win it. You know, what about last year and stuff, but. Realistically, I don't think that comes into your mind that much. It's more about just beating them this year and getting in front of them, you know, and thinking more about beating them again, this, you know, at the end. But I think this has set either team up pretty well, you know, by winning this game. And, you know, I think the disappointment last year, Norse, yeah, sure, you know, that might be in the back of your mind, but realistically, they've got to beat Randwick to stay where they are, and it'd be making a statement too. I think
yes,
if they get up and beat them, you know.
So it's more about them making a statement.
I think so. That you know we're back and we're not going anywhere.
But I'll tell you what, if I was in Randwick's shoes and the game like it's 20 minutes to go and they're in front by 15, I'd start chirping and say, "Boys, what's happening? They're choking like last year." You know?
Yeah, maybe, but who you going for?
I think I'm going to go North.
You go down North, all right.
I'm just going to go feeling.
Okay.
I'm not. Tell you what, but I think you should put a big D under it. Possible draw.
Yeah, I might put a D in the brackets in the middle here. So it could be a draw. Possible. It could be a draw, but I don't know. I wonder if it'll be high score and go to low score and go.
I think it'll be like the grand final. It'll be like what
20
was it, 17-15 the grand final. So because I think defence is so good in both teams, and if they're motivated, and if it's a wet day, North Sydney's pretty good in the wet. I've got to say that
it's great ground. Yeah,
like it drains pretty well.
Yes, it's fine.
And
no, it'd be good.
So that's the end of our tips. But
yeah,
I thought we'd just talk about one other thing before we go. I've noticed. I don't know if anyone else has noticed this in the last round, especially the amount of high tackle penalties has dropped off.
I think it's got more to do with the refs starting to show a bit of common sense than players doing anything different, to tell you the truth. And there's still a lot of them, but for all the game, I watched every game last week, and I didn't think the players did anything different to what they've been doing for the first 4 rounds. I think with the refs just trying to make a statement in the first 4 games, I don't know, because they dead set ruined a lot of games, and for absolutely nothing. And I think maybe they took some notice of that. Who was that ref we were talking about last?
Angus Gay.
Yeah, maybe they paid a bit of attention to him because he seems to ref the game with a lot of common sense. And well, good luck, mate. I hope they stay like that because it got to being ridiculous in those first few games.
Well,
you know, you can't. I think it was just ruining the game. And you know, if it's dead set high, go for it. But if it's not, just let them play, eh? But
as we've been saying, you know, you get hit in the sternum, I don't think it hurts you.
If you can tell me the difference between here and here, I don't know.
And if I get hit here in a grand final, right, and my team wins through a penalty goal, I don't think that's right.
Yeah. Well, hopefully now the refs have got a handle on it, maybe, and hopefully they keep up the good work.
Thankfully, what have we got coming up? Well, the Waratahs are still struggling.
Geez, after last, mate, that's
They went up and then they go
a
down.
problem. They've got a lot of problems there. I
So
think.
they're a bit like a Mount Druitt Bride's 90, mate. It goes up and down and never stops.
Anyway,
PG.
oh yeah, we might have. We hopefully have Max Curry on tomorrow for was it Heroes of yesterday?
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Yesterday's Heroes. If he can work out how to use a Zoom. So we're hoping he'll be on. I was talking to him last night, and so that'll be on hopefully tomorrow afternoon. And we're going to run through, his days at Para, his days at South, his early days coming over from New Zealand, and just his thoughts on rugby in general. And it, he always tells it how it is, and probably be a good laugh too. So that might be a good one for you to catch up on, and hopefully we'll have him on. So if it's not tomorrow, hopefully it might be the week after, but we'll see how we go. But with a bit of luck tomorrow.
Yeah, be good to see. Be good to speak to Max. Great bloke. Well, everyone, that's the show today. Please like us and subscribe, and please share with your friends. And we'll see you next week. Or hopefully
See you later.
tomorrow. Get this.
Get this.